Welcome to a demo of Celebal Smart Data Platform. Celebal Smart Data is a data archiving solution for Salesforce that allows you to perform full-text search on top of your data and also perform archiving and unarchiving at will. What the platform does is always makes sure that whenever the data is archived or unarchived, it happens along with all of the data's associated entities. What this ensures is that no orphan records are ever created and no relationships are ever broken. To use the application, you need to sign into the application with your registered credentials. Once you are in, you can configure your network access so that only authorized IP addresses are allowed to connect to the application. Once that is done, you can head over to this Add Salesforce org section where you need to name your org, you need to specify the environment that you will be linking, and click on this button, which will use the industry standard OAuth protocol to link the Salesforce org to the application. For this particular demo, I'll be linking up a developer org, but you can certainly go forward with any production or sandbox org to be able to use it with the Celebal Smart Data Platform. Once you specify your credentials, you'll be asked access. You need to click on allow. Once that is done, you'll see that the org is now a part of the application where you need to start the data replication process. To do so, you click on this Begin Now link. What this does is it automatically uses the Salesforce APIs to fetch the metadata from your linked Salesforce org, and then it automatically proceeds with the data replication. At all times, you get a real-time view of what is currently synced and what is currently ongoing. So as you can see, we are beginning to get some active records currently into the platform from Salesforce. Since this is the first time we are replicating data, the archived record count is still 0. Now once this process is complete, we are provided with a number of options that we can go forward to use the application. One of them is archive. This screen allows you to choose the records that you want to archive. So say for example, you want to archive all accounts with their related entities. To do so, you click on this tab, you head over to this drop down where you choose the object with which you want to start the archive. Once that is done, the system presents to you a list of child objects for your chosen object. Let's just say that we do not want to add any criteria, which we can by clicking on this button and choosing some filter conditions depending on which we want to archive records. But if you do not include that and simply click on Show Estimate, what this will do is it will show you everything that is inside of the accounts object that can be archived, along with all the related objects records that are linked to the accounts that you are trying to archive. What it presents to you then is a list which specifies how much space you will be freeing up your Salesforce data storage from and moving it to the data backend for the Celebal Smart Data Platform. Once you click on confirm, what's going to happen is that those particular records will be deleted from Salesforce and will only be a part of the Celebal Smart Data Platform. To demonstrate, I'm going to click on cancel and choose a smaller set of records to demonstrate it nicely. To do so, what I can do is I can head over to the Data Explorer section where I can explore the data by both searching and simply browsing through it. As you can see, we have these records open up over here. If I choose account, it will show me all the account records currently in the system. Now by default, only the IDs are shown, which can be changed by moving into the configure section, coming over to the object that you need to configure and adding the respective fields that you want to show inside of your browser. Once you have chosen the fields, you can click on Save Changes. Once you head back to the Browse section, what you can do is again choose your object and it will now begin to display the chosen fields by your selection. So if I choose account, you can see that it is now displaying much more information as has been configured by us. There is also a button available to directly open up this record inside of Salesforce. Now once this data is, or once this record is archived, this option won't be available anymore and would rather be replaced by an unarchive option, as we'll soon see. You can also perform search on top of your data. So say for example, you want to search for US, it begins to show you all your records across all the replicated objects where the term USA is available. Now, this is a case-insensitive search. This is something that works on top of both deleted as well as undeleted data in Salesforce. So you can be rest assured that there is a place available where you can search all of your data, even if that data is not part of your Salesforce ecosystem. A process monitor is provided, which basically lists out all the archive and unarchived processes that have been run till date and what was their status. A replication status page is provided, which basically lists out an object-based drill down of what is currently active and what is currently archived. There is a pause continuous replication toggle provided, which basically allows you to restrict the API calls used by the application. So say, for example, you feel that your API count is going through the roof because of some activity that you are doing inside of your org. What you can do is simply pause the replication inside of the Celebal Smart Data Platform and resume it again once you believe that your API usage is under control. To move forward, we are going to come over to the Data Explorer section and choose an ID for an account so that we can very nicely demonstrate as to how the archival and unarchival operation takes place. What I'm going to do is head over to the Browse section, search for the account object, and I'm going to choose the ID of a particular account. What I can do then is move over to the Archive section, choose account as my starting object. What I'll be presented with is basically a filter criteria where I can specify that ID to be archived. So what I can say is that the ID needs to be equal to that 18-character ID. If we click on Show Estimate now, you can see that one account was retrieved for us, but it was further linked to 3 cases, 2 contacts, and 4 opportunities. Something we can confirm by first opening up that account inside of Salesforce. So if I click Cancel again, head over to the Data Explorer section again, what we'll do is open up that account inside of Salesforce to see what it is related with. So as you can see, this is the account that we chose. If we scroll down on this thing, it's related to 2 contacts, 4 opportunities, and 3 cases. So now again, we are going to take this particular ID. We are going to move into the Archive section. We are going to specify account as the starting point. We are not going to choose any child object for a simpler use case, but that can certainly be an option if you want to avail it. We'll specify the criteria as ID equals our 18-digit ID. We'll click on Show Estimate, which brings out the exact criteria that we see from here. So you can see 2 contacts, 4 opportunities, and 3 cases linked, which is what is being presented to us here. Now, all of this calculation happens internally within the Celebal Smart Data Platform and has no relation with Salesforce. However, whatever changes are happening in Salesforce are being in real time replicated to the Celebal Smart Data Platform. Now, once we click on Confirm, the system will go into a process, will start to run a process that will archive this data from within Salesforce. So as you can see, it automatically moved us to the Process Monitor page where currently some processing is going on. And what it is showing me is that 10 records have been just archived. If I move back to the Data Explorer section and I go over to the Accounts section, you'll see that a particular record that we chose just now has been archived along with its related records. So if we come over to Accounts, you can see that one record has been flagged as red because this data is now not anymore available inside of Salesforce, but rather is only part of the Celebal Smart Data Platform. Now, since this particular account was related to some cases as well, specifically 3 cases, if we head over to the cases object, you'll see that 3 records are being archived. So one is over here and the other 2 are available on this page. So in total, there are 3 cases that have been archived. Now, if let's say we want to unarchive this data back into Salesforce. So say for example, we choose this particular case and we want to unarchive it. The moment we click on unarchive, we are presented with an estimate of what will be unarchived back along with this record. So the general analogy goes that while archiving, we bring all the child records, while unarchiving, we bring all the parent records to maintain relationships. Now, since this particular case was associated to one contact and the account we just archived, they will be brought in back into the Salesforce ecosystem as well once we perform this unarchive. To do so, I'm going to click on this confirm button, which is going to start up an unarchived process and bring the data back into Salesforce. It will take care of associating all the records together to preserve the relationships that were initially there. So as you can see, the process has completed and there are 3 success records. To verify, I can come back to Salesforce, or I can go over to the Data Explorer section to demonstrate how this works. So once I am in the Data Explorer section, I'm again going to choose the account object. I'm again going to choose that same record. Remember, the billing city was Austin and the name was Edge Communications. If I open it up, you'll see that this record is again visible inside of Salesforce with one contact and one case linked to it. So this is the case that we just unarchived, but it brought together with it a particular contact and a particular account and maintained all the associations. Now, once that is done, we can begin to see the other aspects of the system. So say for example, we are on this dashboard, which gives us a view of what our current usage looks like. So as you can see, 7 records are currently archived because remember, we archived 10 and we unarchived 3. Now this is a real-time view of what our replication status looks like. So if I, let's say, head over to the home section and I create a new record inside of Salesforce, since a real-time replication is going, that should automatically be replicated to this particular platform and this active record count should change. So I'm going to come over to the Salesforce ecosystem and I'm going to create a new account. Let's say we name this test account 1. I click on save and now let's just wait for a while for that data to be replicated. So this 183 active records that you see has changed to now 184 because our very new account has been replicated to our platform. So just to verify, if we again head over to the Data Explorer section and choose account, you'll see that that particular record is now available over here. Clicking on this link simply takes us to that exact same record. Now this is a very fine capability of the platform to be able to replicate changes from your Salesforce instance to the Celebal Smart Data Platform in real time. It takes care of inserts, updates, deletes, undeletes, as well as merges of different records. It even takes care of metadata changes inside of your Salesforce org. So say for example, you create a new object, delete a field, create a new field, rename a field. All of those changes will be in real time replicated completely autonomously to the Celebal Smart Data Platform without any administrator burden. So this is like the basis of how the Celebal Smart Data Platform works. You can use it for data backup needs. You can use it to reduce your Salesforce data storage requirement, and you can certainly use it as a business continuity solution. Thank you.